Good afternoon from the New Haven Railroad here in southern Colorado. I'm Bill Shanaman. Yesterday I made a video on how to put some ballast down in my Hartford yard here, and I thought I'd take a video today and show you what the results were. Here you can see the ballast has been applied and it's kind of dried, and you can see the weeds and foliage I've put down in it. So it came out pretty darn good. I'm going to go over a few things I might have neglected yesterday. First of all, this wasn't a how-to video. This is a video on how I do it. You may have your own methods. These are the ones that I use to make my yard look like it does. Some of the products I use, of course, this is cinder ballast that's been screened through a colander, and I get this from a spur out here that no longer has rail on it, and I'm lucky enough to have a lifetime supply because more of this is going over to the New Haven yard when I get done with it. So that's that. This is a little itty bitty scoop that I got in a set years and years ago, and I kept the smallest one. You can get those at the dollar store. This is a box of the ties that I use to fill in the gaps in the rails between the sections where the not the snap track, but the flex track joins together. This fills in the spaces, and I've got plenty of these. I also use some of these for scenery, as we'll show you here in a little bit. This is just a 1/2-inch soft brush I got out of a painting kit. It works well on this. This is a 1/2-inch finer brush. It's a little stiffer. I use this to take out the ballast on the frogs and the guardrails. This is a pair of curved needle nose tweezers. I got these from Micromark. I use them to pick up the ties, and put them in between the holes I want to fill in between the tie sections. Start with some more material that I use. Woodland Scenics Fine Weeds. This is the medium or the darker green. I use the coarse medium green for weeds here. This is the Knock 4mm golden type grass. This is the Knock 4mm or 6mm, I think, green grass, medium green grass. This is medium green clump foliage. I take parts of these out, put them in, glue them down while it's still wet. This is that ballast that I used. This approximates the right color of the Valley line in Connecticut before it was reballasted in the 60s. This is a applicator bottle from a hair dye kit that my wife was using, and I confiscated that because she was throwing it out, but it's great. It's about 8 ounces at a time. I use Mod Podge matte medium glue. You can find it at the craft stores or Walmart in the craft section. I use a 40% mix of the glue to distilled water. And the reason I use distilled water is it doesn't have any minerals in it. The water around here has lots of minerals in it, and it shows up. This is nothing but wet water, and wet water is nothing more than a couple drops of Dawn dishwashing detergent in distilled water. And paper towels for cleaning up after yourself when you make a mess, and it does happen. I use an X-Acto knife to clean out around the points here, remove some of the gravel away, or the ballast away. I'll fill that in later and be careful and glue it down a little bit more. But this is a good tool for just about anything. Alright, now what do you do after you've ballasted your track and the glue's dried? Well, you have to clean your track. And the best way I found to clean your track is these track cleaning blocks. This is made by Perfect. It's a little finer than the Bright Boy, so it won't scratch your rail heads too much. And what you do is you simply take this, look down the track, and rub it back and forth on the rail to get rid of you'll see some spots on here. That's from the glue and detergent and stuff like that. And this will take this right off. Now you do the tops of the rails. But what I do is, since electricity from the wheels gets picked up on the inside edge of the track, we clean that too. This just ensures better electrical contact between the track and your locomotives. Alright, now what I'm going to do is show you how I use some of these products down to add a little bit of scenery to the yards. Since yards are a little boring, you got to create little scenes that just kind of make it less boring. I'm going to move the camera here. And what I've done was taken some of those ties and glued them down. Hopefully you can see that. These are the ties right here. And what I've done is put dirt down, real dirt, and then some of the weeds in different colors. And you glue it down, put your ties in, and then I take the static grass, and I do the rub your feet on the rubber mat trick, wearing rubber shoes, and you get a static charge. So you just bounce it up and down and around, and they will stand up. And I've got some weeds standing up right here. I'm going to try and get a better shot of that for you. But that's those are the ties and the weeds and stuff right at the edge of the layout. This is right here next to a card file for my railroad and the tracks, and it won't really interfere with anything. It just adds a little scenic detail to your yard. Well, I hope you get some out of this, and go ahead and try it, but do some ballasting of your track. It's fairly simple. It's straightforward. Once you get the hang of it, it'll be easy as pie. So from the New Haven Railroad, I'm Bill Shanaman. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.